Clemson loses another player to the transfer portal. Graduate student Trey Williams, a defensive tackle, defensive lineman, hits the transfer portal today. And I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. We need as much depth as we possibly can get and keep on the defensive line. That was a problem this year. And losing a guy who was, he's a graduate student, 6'2", 315 pounds. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. And he started playing back in 2020, so he has a lot of experience. You could step back and say, well, we have so-and-so coming in, or we have this player, or we have that player. Yeah, maybe so, but the truth is we need to keep as many tenured players as we possibly can as we get those new players, the younger players, more experienced, and who knows what's going to happen with the defensive coordinator position. Who knows what's going to happen just with the transfer portal moving forward. So it's kind of interesting. He hits the transfer portal, and he's going to leave Clemson. But for anyone who is joining me late here in this probably minute-long video, Trey Williams, the defensive tackle for Clemson, he has hit the transfer portal, so we're losing another defensive player. So you step back and you're like, Brian, who have we lost so far? Counting defense and offense, we have A.J. Hoffler. He's a defensive end. We lost him. We lost Sherrod Koval. He's a defensive back. Virginia Tech took him. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Troy Stellato, that I know of, he still hasn't signed with anyone. But Noble Johnson, the wide receiver, he's going to Arizona State, which, by the way, in just a little bit, the ball game, in about 10 minutes from right now, if you're watching this in the future, this is about 10 minutes before the Arizona State-Texas game. Noble Johnson is joining Arizona State. Of course, he's not playing today, but that is another player. And I mean, this is not a long video. It's really not much to truly talk about other than we ask ourselves, do we go to the portal again and try to lock down another defensive lineman? That's the only question I have. I don't know. I was really jacked up to hear that Woods was coming back, T.J. Parker's coming back. You go to the portal, you get Will Helt, the sophomore out of Purdue, 56 tackles, I think it was, 5 sacks. The guy's a beast. He's massive. And then you have these 2 players leave. And who else leaves? We don't know. But it's just interesting to see if we will go to the portal. Also remember that we have a lot of guys who still they were injured. Vic Burley still hasn't seen the field, barely, for Clemson. And that guy was a really big recruit coming out of high school, a defensive tackle out of Warner Robins, and the guy's just been injury plagued. And so we will see what happens there. But losing this guy, it doesn't help. It doesn't help when we already have a defensive line that we just need, quite frankly, more depth and more experience. Anytime you lose experience, I'm telling you, you lose more than what you realize. Even if the player's not some jam-up player that's high on everyone's NFL draft boards, it's still really important. So we will see what happens there. But yeah, Trey Williams is no longer with Clemson. He's hit the transfer portal. And losing that guy who's been there for, 4 years, 5 years already. He's a graduate student. It does hurt. Folks, you take care of yourself. Drop this video to any of your friends who likes to talk Clemson football, likes to talk college football. And if you like supporting independent media, someone who just likes talking football, I hope you'll subscribe. It is free. Go Tigers.